Hey, well, happy Wednesday afternoon, General Anatomy and Physiology crew, little midweek check-in. As you know, it's been a couple of busy weeks. Bones in lab last week. That was a big chunk of stuff. Thanks for working through that. Remember, we'll have an exam coming up in a couple of weeks, and that's really when it's kind of truly payable in terms of weight in the grade book. This week, as you know, as you've been digging in, there's a ton of stuff. This is physiology. It really is. And the way that you study how things work are a little bit different than you might study what something is. This stuff does not really fit on flashcards. You have to learn sequences and memorize processes, and one thing comes before another, much in the way of, much like as you would memorize the pathway that you would take home after work. You have to first pass this place, then this place, and make that turn. Learning the muscles is a little bit like that too, especially when we get down to physiology. So please hang in there. I hope you're spending time on it. This week's critical skills assignment, which you can post in discussions so that your classmates can see them, will help with that. It'll help you think a little bit about how a neuron and a muscle communicate, and it'll help you think about the steps that have to happen during sort of that detailed progression. And things do come first, and then second and third, etc. And they actually cause or facilitate things. One of the things we learned about enzymes or proteins way back in the day is that some of them are enzymes, and enzymes facilitate reactions. So a lot of these things are dependent on the chemistry that we learned. Please keep hanging in there. So you've got some muscle stuff to learn for lecture, you've got some muscles to learn for lab, and you have a critical skills assignment due. You can turn that in discussions. It's always nice to take a look at the submissions of your classmates. Those help a lot. And the other thing that I wanted to tell you, so I just heard from the bookstore, as you know, you sort of automatically were given access to the electronic text and Connect for this class. We worked out a system with the bookstore and another partner to make it as cheap as possible. It's going to turn out to be $105, which is way cheaper than, it's probably a quarter of the price that it would have been a couple of semesters ago. So you're automatically given access to the text, which means you can start right away. We don't have to mess around with any of that book stuff or editions. I just heard from the bookstore they will put the official charge to your student account sometime over the next week or so, and it'll be about $105. So when that $105 charge shows up, just remember that it's the textbook that you've had and that we've been using for almost 2 months. If you need me, you got to reach out. Please keep working on this stuff. Stay in this. It's a lot. Hours and hours and hours are required. This is some heavy stuff, and we'll build up. Next week, we'll do some nervous system stuff, which is also heavy. Then we'll have a little breather so that you can assimilate this stuff, so that you can go back and take a look at the things you struggled with as you prep for an exam. So that's kind of how things are looking. In the meantime, learn as much of this stuff as you possibly can. The quizzes are important because they provide motivation and they give you some feedback, and you do kind of the crazy short-term during the week work on those quizzes. But please remember, we have a big exam coming up, and also please remember, you need this content forever. You'll need it next semester, you'll need it in program, and the stuff that we're learning, things like excitable tissues and signaling, that stuff will follow you throughout your entire career. Hope you're having a good day. If you need me, please reach out. Get the critical skills assignments due, turned in discussions by Friday night, and then just keep rocking this stuff. I really appreciate the work. Thank you, folks.